Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. There is a verse in the 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, the 26th verse, in which Lord Krishna says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti upahrutam ashnami prayatatmanaha. What is notable in this verse is that Krishna uses the word bhakti twice. In the second line he says, Yome bhaktya prayachati, one who offers me with love and devotion. And tadaham bhakti upahrutam ashnami, I will accept, because it is overflowing with devotion. It is full with devotion. It's saturated with devotion. So the important aspect of the offering, one of the very important aspects of offering is to be, important point to be noted is that Krishna will accept if it is offered with devotion. And what does it involve to offer with devotion? So there is a description in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. One of the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his name was Raghava Pandita. So Raghava Pandita was very, very meticulous in offering food to the deity of Krishna. Every day he would take utmost care to properly prepare the best of foodstuff and offer it to the Supreme Lord. So he used to every year he used to visit from Bengal to Orissa along with other devotees to Jagannath Puri. After Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted sannyas, he was residing in Jagannath Puri. So the devotees from Bengal would go during the Rath Yatra to participate in the Rath Yatra festival in Jagannath Puri. And they would also meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So whenever they would go, they would meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and after the festival was over, then they would again go to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to bid farewell, to take his permission to go back to Bengal. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would very much appreciate the devotees' seva, because all the devotees would do very nice seva to Krishna or Jagannath. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, once during the end of the Rath Yatra festival, when devotees from Bengal were meeting him in order to take leave to go back to Bengal, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu informed, just hear about the pure devotional service rendered to Krishna by Raghava Pandita. Indeed, Raghava Pandit's service is supremely pure and highly accomplished. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is personally describing the service rendered by Raghava Pandita, and he gives a detailed description. Apart from other commodities, just hear about his offering of coconuts. How does Raghava Pandita offer coconuts to the deity of Krishna? A coconut is sold at the rate of 5 gandas. This is a unit of currency during those days. Of course, there was no paper currency. Everything was either gold coins or some silver coins or some copper coins, like that. So some unit, 5 gandas each. Although he has hundreds of trees and millions of fruits, he is still very eager to hear about the place where sweet coconuts are available. Raghava Pandit himself had a farm in which there were many, many coconut trees. But still, he was very keen on offering the deity of Krishna sweet coconuts, if it was available somewhere. He collects coconuts with great endeavor from a place 20 miles away, and he pays 4 panas each for them. Now, 4 panas means 20 times 1 ganda is 1 pana. That means if you want to convert this 4 panas into gandas, it becomes 80 panas. So where is 5 gandas for regular coconuts and 80 panas? 16 times more price he is paying for every coconut, just because it is very, very sweet. And he doesn't mind walking and going to a place which is 20 miles away, and he carries those coconuts and brings them back for offering to the deity. Then, how does he do the offering of coconuts? Every day, 5 to 7 coconuts are clipped and put into water to keep cool. At the time of offering bhoga, the coconuts are again clipped and cleansed. After holes are made in them at the top, they are offered to Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna, mind you, this is the deity of Lord Krishna in the house of Raghava Pandit, he is offering. Lord Krishna drinks the juice from these coconuts, and sometimes the coconuts are left drained of juice. Generally, when we offer to the deity, the offering the Lord accepts, but remnants are always there. In the case of offering made by Raghava Pandit, it's so very pleasing to the Lord that the Lord actually consumes what is offered sometimes. At other times, the coconuts remain filled with juice. When Raghava Pandit sees that the juice has been drunk from the coconuts, he is very, very, very pleased. He then breaks the coconut, takes out the pulp and puts it on another plate. After offering the pulp, he meditates outside the temple door. In the meantime, Lord Krishna, having eaten the pulp, leaves the plate empty. Sometimes, after eating the pulp, Krishna fills the plate again with new pulp. In this way, the faith of Raghava Pandit increases as he floats in an ocean of love. One day it so happened that about 10 coconuts were properly clipped and brought by a servant to offer to the deity. When the coconuts were brought, there was very less time to offer them because it was already late. The servant holding the container of coconuts remained standing at the door. Raghava Pandit then saw that the servant touched the ceiling above the door and then touched the coconuts with the same hand. He was carrying the basket of coconuts and he happened to touch accidentally the top of the door. And with the same hand, he was removing the coconuts. So Raghava Pandit said, People are always coming and going through that door. The dust from their feet blows up and touches the ceiling. After touching the ceiling above the door, you have touched the coconuts. Now they know they are no longer fit to be offered to Krishna because they are contaminated. Such is the service of Raghava Pandit. If some dust kicks up, first of all, they clean regularly the temple. But in case some dust kicks up, hardly any dust will be there. That little dust, in case it has touched the hand of this servant who was carrying the basket containing coconuts, and in the same hand he has touched the coconuts. So Raghava Pandit says this coconut is not fit for offering to the Supreme Lord. He did not accept the coconuts but threw them over the wall. His service is purely based on unalloyed love, and it conquers the whole world. Thereafter, Raghava Pandit has other coconuts gathered, cleansed, clipped with great attention. He offers them to the deity to eat. In this way, from distant villages, he collects excellent bananas, mangoes, oranges, jackfruits, and whatever other first-class fruits he has heard about. All these fruits are collected from distant places, bought at a high price. After trimming them with great care and with purity, Raghava Pandit offers them to the deity. This is the standard of Raghava Pandit's offering to the deity every single day. Thus, with great care and attention, Raghava Pandit also prepares spinach, chalk, green leafy vegetables, other vegetables, radishes, fruits, chipped rice, powdered rice, and sweetmeats. He prepares cakes, sweet rice, condensed milk, and everything else with great attention, and the cooking conditions are purified so that the food is first class and delicious. Raghava Pandit also offers all kinds of pickles. He offers various scents. He offers garments to the deities. He offers ornaments, and he offers the best of everything. Thus, Raghava Pandit serves the Lord in an incomparable way. Everyone is very much satisfied just to see him. Kindly note that only somebody who has got the understanding and the realization that the deity is Sakshat Krishna, Supreme Lord Himself. He is personally present as the deity. The deity is not merely a statue. Actually, Krishna is present, and He is actually giving an opportunity as the deity to to offer an opportunity for the devotees to serve the Supreme Lord. You see, all these services we offer to the deity, we can personally offer to Krishna flowers, fruits, we can offer arati, we can offer incense, we can offer a bath. If you have deities, you can offer a bath. You can offer dress, you can offer ornaments, you can offer some specially cooked item, different items on different days. You can offer fruits, you can offer different varieties of vegetables. Like this, it's an opportunity to do varieties of seva. Now, what is the benefit for the devotee? The benefit for the devotee is that the devotee awakens his or her dormant devotion. All of us have got bhakti inside our heart. That is the pure state of the consciousness of the soul. Our soul, we, that is, our soul means we. Each one of us, we are Krishna conscious entities. originally. But now, in the material condition, our consciousness is covered. So we have to uncover our original consciousness by this practice of sadhana bhakti. So during the stage of sadhana bhakti especially, we have to be very, very cautious to offer our service with great care and attention. Many times, if we keep doing some activity repeatedly on a daily basis or on a regular basis, then we tend to do that activity very mechanically. We may not give attention. And if we don't give attention, there is every possibility that while doing that activity, there may be some lapses, there may be some mistakes, there may be some defects in our service. You see how Raghava Pandit is so very careful. He has very carefully noted that the coconuts that were being brought in were not contaminated in any way. They have been cleansed, they have been nicely handled. But just while bringing in, above the door, the servant's hand touched the ceiling. So then Raghava Pandit particularly noted that. He was having his attention how the coconuts are being brought. Is the purity maintained or not for offering to the deity? So this level of care and attention indicates the particular level of devotion of the particular devotee. So this is a lesson for us, that what does it mean to offer Krishna something in devotion? We have to take utmost care. So even while cooking, if somebody is cooking some item to be offered to the deity of Krishna, or the picture of the deity also, it's okay. Then the care has to be taken about cleanliness, purity, and the cooking has to be done very, very nicely. There should be no undercooked item, there should be no overcooked item, there should be no forgetfulness in putting some particular spice or salt, or by mistake putting salt twice. Because when cooking is done for the deity, the cook does not taste the cooking. So one who is cooking for the deity should not experiment while cooking. Let me try to add some spice, or let me try some new recipe. No, all trials should be done separately. Actually, when one is thorough with some recipe and is very, very confident of doing it nicely, only then a particular foodstuff should be prepared or cooked and then offered to the deity. And then the offering also should be done in a very pleasing manner. The presentation should be very, very neatly done. The items on a plate, supposing there is more than one item on a plate, then it has to be arranged in such a way that the items don't get mixed up. If there is difficulty in placing different items on a plain plate, then better keep it in bowls or leaf cups, in such a way that the items don't get mixed up. And if it is food which is to be offered hot, then it has to be offered hot. But it should not be burning hot. There are instances where devotees offered something which is very, very hot, burning hot, and then the deity put the hand inside the item which was very hot and burned the fingers. And there is a place where the deity has got burnt fingers, to indicate that you have to be careful when you offer. It's not that anyway the deity is not going to eat, or just glances at the offering. No, actually Krishna says, Ashnami. Ashnami means he says, I eat. The word Ashnami means I eat. So Krishna actually eats, partakes the offering, if properly done. So one should not think that anyway Krishna is not going to eat. So let me just keep it in front of him. No, we should do it in such a way that Krishna actually is going to eat the prasadam. Then there is another pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was a small baby. Baby Nimai. He was called Nimai when he was a small boy. So a pious mendicant Brahmana who was traveling to various holy places once arrived in Navadvip, and he happened to visit the house of Jagannath Mishra. Jagannath Mishra was the father of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of Nimai. So, and Shachi Mata was the mother. So Jagannath Mishra and his wife Shachi Mata received this Brahmana very nicely. And the Brahmana was always carrying one deity of Gopal, Krishna's deity, Bala Gopal. And he would always chant the 6-syllable Gopal mantra to worship the deity. These are special mantras that are given in the scriptures for specifically offering a particular form of a deity. So there's a Gopal mantra for worshipping the form of Gopal. So in the course of visiting, he came to the house of Jagannath Mishra, and Jagannath Mishra actually respectfully stood up and received him, washed his feet, welcomed him inside, because those days there were no hotels. So a traveler had to either stay in a temple or in the house of another Brahmana. So this Brahmana, he was the guest in Jagannath Mishra's house, and Jagannath Mishra actually received him very nicely and said, I'm very fortunate to have you as my guest. Can I arrange for your cooking? Because such Brahmanas who travel with deity, they will only eat if they personally cook and offer to their deity. They generally eat only once a day at noontime. So they themselves prepare. So Jagannath Mishra, understanding that he had the deity, he said, I'll make all arrangements for you to cook and offer to your deity and have prasadam. So the Brahmana was very pleased. He said, okay, kindly arrange. So Jagannath Mishra made all the arrangements. He cleaned one place and made arrangements for some cooking pots and some grains and some vegetables, some spices and some ladles and some spoons, whatever required, everything he arranged. So satisfied with the arrangement, Brahmana cooked and sat down to make the offering. It was about noontime, and the Brahmana, when he placed the offering in front of the deity of Gopal, Bal Gopal, and started chanting the Bal Gopal, the Gopal mantra. Now, this baby Nimai is actually the Supreme Lord Krishna himself. He is seated in the heart of the Brahmana as the super soul. So he heard the mantra that the Brahmana is calling me, and he decided to give darshan to that Brahmana. So as soon as the Brahmana began to meditate, this baby Nimai came in front of the Brahmana, and this baby Nimai was very, very beautiful. His limbs were covered with dust, his eyes were reddish, his hands and feet were most beautiful. So the baby Nimai smiled sitting in front of that offering and took a handful of the Brahmana's rice and ate the rice as the Brahmana was watching. Immediately the Brahmana cried out, Alas, alas, my offering has been spoiled. This naughty boy, naughty baby has come and eaten the rice. It's not fit for offering. So Jagannath Mishra came rushing to that room and said, what happened? What happened? Then he learned that, oh, the child is inside, sitting in front of the plate. So immediately, Jagannath Mishra tried to chastise that baby Nimai, naughty child. So then immediately the Brahmana caught hold of the hand of Jagannath Mishra and said, why are you trying to beat this small boy? He's after all an ignorant boy. He doesn't know anything. You're supposed to be a cultured Aryan. How can you beat a child which doesn't know the difference between right and wrong? So Jagannath Mishra then said, what can I do? You spoiled your offering. The Brahmana said, don't feel sad. Whatever is meant to happen on a particular day will happen. It is known to the Lord. So bring whatever fruits and roots and berries you have in your house. I will eat those today and I will manage. You see, I don't have to every day eat necessarily a properly cooked meal. Because I keep traveling, sometimes I have to eat something like some fruits and some roots, etc. So Jagannath Mishra said, please cook again if you don't mind. I will make all the arrangements. I will not be satisfied if you just take some fruits, etc. Please cook again. Then all the friends and relatives of Jagannath Mishra who gathered to see what had happened there, they said, please be merciful on us and cook again. The Brahmana said, all right, because you are so very insistent, according to desire, I'll cook again. So he began cooking. Then they again quickly cleaned the place. They again gathered the ingredients. They washed the pots, which already cooking was done, and freshly cooked, washed pots and everything. Then Jagannath Mishra said, this child is very restless and he may spoil the offering again. Better his mother takes him to the neighboring house and remains there till the entire offering is over and the Brahmana has taken his prasad. Till then, don't bring this boy out of that neighbor's house. So the mother, Shachi Devi, she took the baby in her arms and went to the neighbor's house. And along with her, so many neighboring ladies, they all went along with Shachi Mata because this baby was very, very attractive. All of them went and they all sat around Shachi Devi and they began to speak to this baby. Listen, Nimai, you shouldn't have eaten that Brahmana's rice like that. So the boy, small baby Nimai, with his beautiful moon-like face, he began to smile. What is my fault? Brahmana called me. Therefore I went and I took the food that he was actually prepared, that was actually prepared for me. So then everyone said, what will you do now that you lost your caste? Who knows that Brahmana? He is some wandering mendicant. What about his caste? We do not know. Now that you have eaten that rice, you will not maintain your caste anymore. Then this baby Nimai said, I am actually a cowherd boy and I always eat that Brahmana's rice. So how can a cowherd boy lose his caste? By eating a Brahmana's rice. So actually the Lord did not reveal his actual identity, but by the influence of his Yogamaya potency, no one took him very seriously or considered what he was speaking. They simply laughed and they took him to in their arms and began to embrace him and kiss him. And The Lord was simply smiling, being transferred from one uh, person's lap to another person's lap, and everybody was simply trying to hold him and making sure that he doesn't slip away and go away, again to spoil the Brahmana's offering. So, meantime, the Brahmana finished cooking. He sat down to make the offering. In meditation, he chanted the Gopal mantra and called out, Balagopal, please accept this offering. Immediately, baby Nimai, who is the Supreme Lord, as a super soul, came to know of this. He put everybody into illusion and slipped away from that neighbor's house and secretly came in front of the Brahmana. And with a smile on his face, he sat down in front of that offering and took another handful of rice as the Brahmana watched. Again, the baby has come and spoiled my offering. So, when again he began to lament about that offering being spoiled, Jagannath Mishra, who was in the next room, suddenly entered and he saw again this baby has come. How did you come? He became very angry and said, I am not a fool. I am going to chastise you this time. I'm not going to spare you. You have done such a big offense, and that too you are repeating the offense. So everyone tried to restrain Jagannath Mishra, but he said, I am going to beat this boy and teach him a lesson. He should never again do this. Then the Brahmana, again he was speaking to Jagannath Mishra. This small boy is not going to learn by being beaten. Children by nature are very, very restless. So what is the use of beating this child? Whatever is meant to happen on a particular day, by the will of the Lord, it will happen. You and I cannot change that. Then the Brahmana began explaining, you see, Lord Krishna has not allotted any rice for me to eat today. I am telling you this is my realization. So don't feel bad. Actually, I am not meant to eat rice today. I will simply take some fruits and satisfy my hunger. So Jagannath Mishra was just at a loss what to tell, what to do now. It's already evening. Then the Brahmana actually was requesting the others, kindly get me some fruits. At that time, Nimai's elder brother, Vishwarupa, he entered the house. He had gone out somewhere. He entered the house, and his bodily effulgence was very, very, very bright, brilliant bodily effulgence. He is actually the incarnation of Balaram, Vishwarupa. He appeared as the elder son of Jagannath Mishra, and Krishna appeared as the younger son, baby Nimai. So Vishwarupa had a very, very beautiful, bright complexion, and he looked extremely beautiful. And seeing him, the Brahmana said, whose son is this wonderful boy? Then others in the vicinity said, he is the son, elder son of Jagannath Mishra. The Brahmana was very satisfied to hear. He embraced Vishwarupa and said, glorious are the parents who have such a wonderful son like you. Vishwarupa very nicely offered obeisances to the Brahmana, and he began speaking very sweetly. Whoever receives a guest like you has attained great fortune on that auspicious day. It is our great fortune that you have come as a guest in our house. But we are unfortunate also because you are fasting. If you fast while you stay in someone's house, it will simply bring inauspiciousness to the host. I am greatly satisfied by seeing you, but I am very, very sad that you have to fast because your offering has been spoiled twice already. Brahmana said, do not feel sad. I'll eat some fruits. I'm not going to fast. So then the Brahmana began to explain, actually, I live in the forest. I don't have any house. So where do I get rice? I simply am accustomed to eating some fruits and roots and berries. So I don't eat rice always. Whenever I'm a guest in somebody's house and if they make some arrangement for cooking, then I eat rice. Otherwise, I don't prepare rice on a regular basis. So please bring some fruits and I'll be most satisfied to have some fruits. So Jagannath Mishra did not say anything. He was already ashamed that twice the Brahmana had cooked. How can I request him to cook a third time? But Vishwarupa insisted that kindly cook a third time and please satisfy us by cooking, making the offering and taking a proper meal. All my family members will be very, very unhappy if you don't have a proper cooked meal. So again, the Brahmana said, okay, I've already cooked twice. Krishna has not allowed me to eat both the times. Now, if you insist, then I will actually cook a third time. But it's not the proper time to cook, the Brahmana began to think. It's almost nearing night, and I don't cook at night at all. I never cook at night. So then Vishwarupa said, there will be no fault if you cook because you have not taken anything since afternoon. You have not taken your daily noon meal. So he caught hold of the Brahmana's feet and said, please, to satisfy everybody, all my family members, please cook and take a proper meal. The Brahmana then agreed and began to cook. Everyone took Nimai to another room and Nimai nicely slept off. So they said, oh, finally the child has slept. And Jagannath Mishra said, I'm going to lock the door of this room from outside. I'm not going to trust anybody. So he actually sent Nimai, Nimai was sleeping in the room, he sent his wife, Chichi Mata, and a few other women. They all went inside and he locked the door from outside. And inside the lady said, don't worry, Nimai is sleeping soundly. He won't do anything now. And anyway, Jagannath Mishra said, I'm going to guard outside. I'm not going to leave this door till the entire offering is over. The pious Brahmana cooked again and got ready for offering, kept the offered cooked rice and with some other items, some few other items. And then by the will of the Supreme Lord, Nidra Devi, the goddess of sleep, deluded everyone, and including Jagannath Mishra, Chichi Mata, all the people, all the ladies, everyone went to sleep. Only Nimai got up and the Brahmana was there making his offering, who was awake. So Nimai stealthily went to that place where the Brahmana was doing the offering, and for the third time Nimai came and sat in front of that plate of rice offering which was prepared by the Brahmana. The Brahmana cried out, alas, alas, the child has again come. But nobody heard because everybody was asleep. Then the child began to speak. Formerly, previous two times, Baby Nimai had not spoken anything. He was just smiling and eating like a small baby. But this time he began to speak. O Brahmana, you are very, very magnanimous. You call me and therefore I come. What is my fault? You chant my mantra and invite me. I cannot resist coming. So I have come here because you desire to see me. At that time, the Lord exhibited a wonderful 8-armed form to the Brahmana. In 4 hands, he was holding conch shell, a disc, a club, and a lotus. In one hand, he held a pot of butter. He ate with the other hand. His other 2 hands held a flute. He was decorated with the mark of Srivatsa. The Kaustuba gem was there on his chest. And all of his limbs were decorated with beautiful ornaments. His head was decorated with a very beautiful crown, and there were peacock feathers in that crown, and he was having a Vajanti flower garland, shark-shaped earrings. His lotus feet were adorned with ankle bells, and all the darkness was dissipated by the shining toenails. Brahmana saw the abode of Vrindavan, and he heard some chirping of various birds. He saw some cowherd boys and girls in all directions. And seeing all this, he became unconscious and became ecstatic. And then the Lord placed his lotus hand on the body of the Brahmana. By the touch of the Lord's hand, the Brahmana regained consciousness and he got up. And again, in ecstasy, he tried to speak, but he was unable to speak anything. Then the Brahmana caught hold of the Lord's lotus feet and began to cry. The Lord said to him, "Please listen, O Brahmana, you have been my servant for many, many lifetimes. You always desire to see me, and therefore I come before you. In a previous life, I gave you darshan at the house of Nanda Maharaj. When I appeared in Gokul, you also joyfully visited Gokul, and you were the guest one day in the house of Nanda Maharaj. At that time, you offered me rice in the same way, and I spoiled your offering, and then finally I showed you this form. So in this way, you have been my servant birth after birth. And other than my servants, no one can see this form of mine. I have disclosed this form to you. Please keep it confidential so that it doesn't spoil my mission." So in this way, the Lord pacified the Brahmana and then went back to his room. The Brahmana's entire body was filled with ecstasy, and seeing that wonderful manifestation, he began to consider that the Lord has very kindly given him his blessings. Very happily he ate the offering, and then he began to dance and began to sing Jai Bal Gopal. Hearing him sing, others woke up, and then seeing the Brahmana had eaten, they were very, very satisfied. And then the Brahmana kept that back the secret that the Lord had given him darshan, and he just went away the next day. So this is the devotion with which that Brahmana had offered that was attracting the Supreme Lord. So the Supreme Lord is only attracted by devotion, not by the very foodstuff or some other material arrangements. No, it is the devotion that attracts the Supreme Lord to accept any offering that is made. I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.